No part of the federal government should disqualify an individual from competing for a federal job based on whether they have one type of educational credential. The door needs to be open to both kinds of qualified candidates, those with or without a degree, and the federal government should be able to pick who is most prepared to do the job based on a holistic view of the candidates. Thank you very much. I want to start by thanking Representative Mace for her leadership, for her advocacy, and for her partnership. Look, government employees should be the best in the business. Taxpayers deserve nothing less from the people that they employ. But how do we get the best in our federal jobs? Just like in any market, it all comes down to one thing: fostering competition. When I hire staffers to represent California's 47th congressional district, I write job descriptions that describe exactly what work that person will need to accomplish. Then I let candidates compete on who best demonstrates those skills. The beauty of that competition is that there isn't just one credential or one requirement that guarantees someone will get the job. Sometimes I've had great staffers who have law degrees. They were successful in writing and analyzing policy because their education prepared them for it. Other times, I've had great policy staff who had no particular degree or education. They were successful because they spent years working on Capitol Hill or had other deep policy experience gained from being in the workforce. If I thought excelling in a government job always came down to one credential or one life experience, I would have missed out on some great employees, and more importantly, taxpayers would have missed out. We're only going to find out who's best to fill a role if we let all qualified candidates show us all their qualifications. Today, I'm happy to partner with Congresswoman Mace on legislation to allow just this kind of competition when it comes to our federal cybersecurity jobs. Just like I've employed great policy professionals with and without law degrees, there's not one type of educational experience that's always going to make a cybersecurity professional the best of the best. I'm a former professor, and I know that a lot of people will learn skills in college programs that prepare them to be a federal cybersecurity professional. At the same time, I also know that college isn't always affordable and accessible for everybody, and the reality is that many people gain the skills necessary to flourish and succeed at federal cybersecurity jobs as part of other experiences, including military service or training and apprenticeship programs. The Modernizing the Acquisition of Cybersecurity Experts Act stops the federal government from ruling out people without a specific educational credential. Instead, it lets all qualified applicants compete, and it gives the federal government more choices. We should be able to agree to advance this bill regardless of party. As my colleague, Congresswoman Mace said, there's very little as bipartisan as an executive order issued under President Trump that President Biden has chosen to keep in place, to keep on the books. This is a policy that is working under administrations of both parties to make our government more successful, and now we need in Congress to do our job to make it permanent as a law. I urge all Democrats and Republicans on the committee to support this bill. We can only hire the best federal cybersecurity professionals when we've had the chance to consider all the qualified options. And the Modernizing the Acquisition of Cybersecurity Experts will give us this chance. I'm proud to support Representative Mace's bill, and I thank her for the opportunity to co-lead, and I yield back.